What struck me when I first met the guys from Tilia Labs is their relentless passion and drive to create solutions that solve specific customer issues. At Enfocus, we share this passion and the belief that open systems that combine with existing hardware and software already installed at the customer helps to create or to enable full automation. Throughout my career, I've seen a lot of automation being implemented at commercial printers. This has become kind of a standard to automate. However, it's very exciting to see that now also in large format printing, automation is making its inroads. I believe the Bernard Group is a perfect example of how Tilia Labs Phoenix and Enfocus Switch really improve a business.
The goal with Phoenix is to do imposition and planning for the full spectrum of graphic arts jobs. So you got wide format labels, commercial, cartons, it does it all. And it was developed to address the kinds of issues that Bernard Group was facing. So we've heard this a lot where there's shorter run lengths, quicker turnaround times. You have to do this as cost effective as possible. So Phoenix has tools to go and find the most cost effective way to produce a job and get print ready imposed results.
We're a company in Chanhassen, Minnesota. We were founded in 1999. We're a visual merchandising company. We deal with a lot of high-end retail customers. We have a small format and online division. So we have a website that drives traffic to the shop and our retail division. We have 650 people every year since its birth. It's been growing, near 30%. Our growth has been coming from both our online division and our retail division. In our large format division, we have Vutex, we have Zuns, we have Fabrifus. In our small format division, we have HP Indigos, we have Fuji J presses, making up the bulk of our equipment. We've brought in a lot of automation solutions. We brought in Printergy, we've brought in Switch, and ultimately we've been using Switch. Switch has replaced just about everything else that we're using. So Enfocus Switch is kind of the glue that allows everything to automate. So it allows us to take files in, it allows us to automatically pre-press them, impose them, and give them to our presses. One of the problems that we have is imposition. We had a team for a long time where we had 6 people that were manually imposing each job as they went through. That worked when we had 100 jobs a day, but once you start getting to 600 jobs a day, it becomes a very labor-intensive thing, but it's also a very repetitive thing. Do you really want your best talent and resources sitting there clicking a button and doing that just 600 times a day and then having to staff that department up? We started out with a template-based approach and we made lots of templates, and certainly it ended up we've got 1,200 templates stored. But being that we're a custom shop, even 1,200 templates isn't enough. We're always having to make more. One day when we were looking through Switch, we found this neat little Phoenix logo, and we looked at that and said, what's that? Maybe that's the solution, maybe that's our answer, and it turned out it was. We talked to Phoenix, we purchased Phoenix, and it was the first imposition system that we could actually use scripting in. And what that meant is we didn't have to have 1,200 templates. It meant that we could simply give a few instructions, and using the information from our MIS system, that could generate automatically behind the scenes those 1,200 templates and many more.
Phoenix has an automation API, and that allows third-party integration, and that's exactly what we do with Enfocus software Switch. So we have a configurator in Enfocus Switch, and that connects to Phoenix. And Switch has the capability for each parameter or property that you specify to say whether it can be a variable or a script expression. And so we built our configurator so that each property in the configurator can be specified as a script expression or a variable. And that allows the Bernard Group they're able to simplify their workflow by just saying right in the flow itself, here, do this in this scenario, do this in this scenario, and can adapt to all kinds of different conditions.
Before we started, we didn't know what Tilia was about. We didn't know who they were as a company, but we knew what we had and we knew what was out there. We knew these template-based systems and we knew that wasn't working. So we were willing to take a risk and try something new and try a new company. We knew that they were a small company and we were hoping that that would be an advantage. That would mean that they were small and light and would listen to our needs. And that paid off tenfold. They absolutely have listened to all of our needs and met everything that we've brought to them. Some of the biggest changes we saw after we got Phoenix was the increased shape nesting. That made a huge difference in large format, much more efficient than our current systems, and there's a lot of other systems out there, but nothing that we've seen has been able to come close to what Phoenix has delivered. And on the small format side, it really enabled us to do ganging. It enabled us to have our dynamic impositions that allow us to do press switching from one device to another, and allowed us to really meet the needs in case a press goes down or a job changes specs. We can change things on the fly, and that's something that Phoenix allowed us to do. All of our print vendors have provided an imposition tool. Everyone tries to go for this complete full solution, but complete full solution within their environment. So they force you to their brand, and it only works on their brand's products. And one of the things about the custom nature of what we do is we need many different pieces of equipment to support that. We need many different vendors to support that. So when it came to something that was universal, like imposition, they all need imposition. We needed an imposition tool that would work with all vendors across all platforms, even to the point of working across small format and large format. And this is a tool that does. We've definitely become more independent from our print vendors because this opens the doors whenever we use a more universal product. Anytime that you're using something that can span across multiple vendors, then you're not chained to those vendors anymore. We're an online company, we're a technology company. How do we push this farther? And that's where automated solutions came in mind there. That's where I was able to, no one had to lose their heads or anything. It was taking that imposition team and bringing them in and saying, here's a tool, all you need to do is program this. And through the intuitive interface that you've given, where it allows people with just pre-press knowledge to really do a lot of the scripting and assembling, that allows those pre-press people, those imposition people, to turn into automation people. And now they can go from manually setting up on their desktop dozens of jobs per day to building a system that can now automatically and dynamically impose hundreds of jobs per day.